Hi there. I'm Athena Parakis, the founder of Sage Goddess, and I'm here to introduce you to the magic of essential oils tonight. And to me, they truly are magic. I'm going to teach you a little bit about the history of perfuming because I think it's a fascinating history. It's actually really a tale of our ancestors and how they worked with sacred plants and flowers and trees and resins to hold sacred space, to open sacred space, to mark important chapters and events in their lives, to heal the physical body as well as the spirit. And so tonight we're going to talk about all of those things. I'm walking you through what are my top 6, my basics. In other words, these are the ones that are always in my medicine cabinet, always in my medicine bag, and just with me on a regular basis. I can't travel without these oils, and so I want to teach you about their individual properties and then talk to you about how you can use essential oils in your practice. You know, at Sage Goddess, we're really proud because our essential oil line, which includes all of the basic essential oils and then all of the rare essential oils and absolutes, like jasmine, for example, or we also have really rare pressed absolutes like carnation and honeysuckle. We also make blends. In fact, this is our newest blend that we just released called Arrow Love, which contains all of the essential oils known to attract and to help you hold on to love in your life. And so are you ready? Are you ready to start this journey? My hope is that you'll fall in love with essential oils after tonight's class and that it will inspire you to go back and maybe work with some oils that you have in your collection already that you haven't worked with in a while. Maybe it's time to bring those out and revive your passion and your interest in what is probably the oldest healing art on earth, truly. So let's go back to basics, shall we? Perfume comes from 2 Latin words, per, P-E-R, and fume, which means smoke. So through, which is per, and fume, which is smoke. Did you know that our ancestors, that was the first perfume, was incense. It was burned in churches. Beautiful resins were burned to, again, set, consecrate, and hold sacred space. And they were used throughout villages and throughout ancient towns to signal the beginning of ceremony. Perhaps it was the night of the new moon or the full moon, and so essential oils and resins would be burned ceremonially to prepare space and to also signal to everyone in the town or in the village that ceremony was happening that evening. And so it's a really beautiful way to, without words, communicate because, of course, essential oils are their own language. So tonight we're going to talk about these 6 basics. We're going to talk about Rose de Mai, which is a beautiful, sweet, tender, very true rose. It will remind you of the beautiful gardens maybe that you walked in as a child or roses that you've seen in your travels. We're going to talk about patchouli, which if you've been working with me for a long time, you know patchouli is my absolute go-to. I wear patchouli every day. Did you know it's a manifestation essential oil that attracts prosperity and abundance? Lavender. You must have lavender in your collection, especially as a healer. It calms, soothes, and orders the central nervous system. So it brings your energy into present time, helps you to overcome anxiety, and also helps with chronic stress and fatigue. Peppermint. Such a great revitalizing, awakening essential oil that helps you focus, but it also helps to clear your mind. It's another one that you can use for stress, anxiety. It's really good for migraine headaches too. Mugwort. Here's one that gets taken for granted sometimes. Did you know that mugwort is considered to be one of the most magical essential oils of all time? It's been used in divination for hundreds of years, and you can actually use even your mugwort essential oil as an incense just by dropping a few drops using a pipette onto a charcoal disc. You'll be able to release the aroma and the energy of your essential oil and use it in an entirely different way. And then last but not least, orange. There had to be a citrus in the bunch. Orange is revitalizing as well. It's uplifting. Orange shifts your mood. It brings happiness, and it also calms and revitalizes your central nervous system. You're seeing a theme, aren't you? These oils all work beautifully and synergistically together. And so if you have the set of tools for tonight, you've got an arsenal of what I think are some of the most beneficial, potent, and healing essential oils you can possibly work with. So let's go back to basics. Are you ready? And I also want to tell you about your trio, your blend called 3 Graces that came as your free sample if you purchase the set. 3 Graces is such a beautiful combination of lavender, ylang-ylang, and blue chamomile. Calming, nurturing, relaxing, softening. Ylang-ylang is a natural aphrodisiac, so this is going to make you feel a little sensual. a little open, a little hot. We've been invoking Shakti in my magical sabbatical class, so maybe you're in there. Ylang ylang is definitely one of the oils I would consider to be a sensuality-provoking, sacral chakra opening essential oil. Your blue chamomile is so relaxing, really good for digestive problems. You can even just take your 3 grazes and anoint your belly. If you're having any kind of digestive disturbance, very healing, very calming for the entire digestive tract. And then, of course, lavender has to be one of the 3 graces. She's the most divine of all of the relaxation goddesses for me in the essential oil world. There's nothing that lavender can't heal. It's antibacterial, antimicrobial, antispasmodic, anti-cancer. It is such a powerful essential oil that does all kinds of different things for different systems in your body. But most of all, it is an incredible essential oil for alignment. Lavender brings you gently back to center. So again, it's a really good one. It's even safe enough to use on babies and little ones if they're having temper tantrums. All you have to do is take your lavender. I should leave mine upside down so they're little. Did you love the little labels? It helps you keep everything so organized, doesn't it? You can just take your lavender. A lot of these are skin safe. Like lavender generally is one that you don't need to dilute in a carrier oil, although I like to tell people always dilute your oils before you use them. You may not know how your own skin is going to react to direct application of essential oils. So I like just as a practice to recommend that you distribute your oils in a carrier oil, and you can use fractionated coconut, you can use jojoba, olive oil, although it's got a little bit of a savory bite to it. Sesame is the same way. It's a little savory, but it's a great carrier oil. Apricot seed oil, hemp oil, and avocado are 2 favorites here at Sage Goddess. Hemp is very opening and revitalizing, and so it pairs well with a lot of the blends that we create, and avocado is super healing. And in fact, if you add avocado to some of your oils like jasmine that are very good for your hair, you can make a brilliant hair mask just by combining avocado oil with a little bit of jasmine, maybe a little argan oil too. Just rub it on the ends when you're in the shower and then rinse your hair. You'll have healthier ends and less breakage. Your essential oils can do everything. Now, if you have a tantruming child, which haven't we all had that in our lives? I have 2 kids. All you do is just anoint your own finger with a little bit of the lavender and then bring it up under the nose. And tell your child just to take a nice deep breath. You can even tell them to do it 3 times. By the time they're done, the relaxation benefits of the lavender are going to kick in. And whatever that little tantrum was about, whatever was raising their blood pressure and their anxiety, will naturally be diffused. And what I love about teaching kids about EOs too is give them the wisdom so that they learn how to use these alternative tools as they grow. So they'll naturally come to you and say, I'm feeling super stressed, Mom. Can I have some lavender oil? Or I can't sleep very well. Or I've got a migraine. Can I grab that pettigrain, peppermint, and lavender blend so that I can anoint the back of my neck? I can't get this headache to go away. And teaching them about alternative medicine early in life so that they begin to be armed with this information. So don't keep this information secret. You should be out there sharing this information with your community, with your children, with your girlfriends, because essential oils really truly are for everybody. Men love them too. Hopefully there's some of you watching, so I want to welcome you too. Okay, so let's start with patchouli. Let's go back to my favorite. If you haven't worked with patchouli before, it is very grounding. It activates and opens the root chakra. It's protective. It's sensual. I think it's sensual. I think patchouli is one of the sexiest scents there is. It smells equally good on men and women. And so I'm going to take just a little bit. Again, here's one that's nice and easy to be applied directly to skin, but if you prefer, you can of course dilute. And I love hemp carrier oil with patchouli essential oil. That's one of my favorite blends. So if you haven't tried that and you have hemp on hand, I would definitely recommend it. So just bring your finger under your nose, 3 deep inhales. There's nothing like it, truly. I think patchouli is sensual and beautiful and stabilizing. So what I want you to do now as you inhale and take those nice deep breaths, I want you to ask yourself what word comes to mind for you. Free your mind. Don't focus your thoughts in any particular place. Just allow yourself to be present to the scent and ask yourself what word comes up. Isn't that a fun exercise? My word right now is earth. That's what's coming up for me. There's something about patchouli that truly is, it's almost like the gift of the earth. Sometimes patchouli, really good patchouli, especially old patchouli, because patchouli ages well. And in fact, I don't like patchouli that's anything younger than maybe 2 or 3 years. I really prefer a nice 10, 15, 20-year-old aged patchouli, which sometimes you can find. And so the older it is, the better it is. It gets really thick and viscous, and the smell just improves with age. One of the things to keep in mind is choose your carrier oils wisely. Jojoba oil has a nice stable 2 to 3 year shelf life, which means if you make a perfume with jojoba oil today, you'll be able to use it without worrying about it being rancid up until into 2020, 2021. If you use apricot seed oil, for example, which is less stable, has a much shorter shelf life, you're going to have to replace your perfume even if you're not done using it yet. So definitely take a look at shelf life and also refrigeration needs. You don't have to refrigerate jojoba. And what's beautiful about it is jojoba actually mimics your skin's own natural sebum, its own natural oils. And so it feels, in terms of the slippage, the hand feel, it feels just like the natural oils of your hair or your face. And so your body recognizes and can easily integrate jojoba-based perfumes almost better than any other carrier oil. It's why we use it exclusively here at Sage Goddess. Okay, so patchouli. It is truly the essence of depth, is what I would say. Patchouli is everything deep that an essential oil can be. It's provocative, it's sensual, it's earthy, it's a little bit musty. Some people say it smells like old libraries, which of course, as a former professor, that's one of my favorite things is an old library. So maybe I'm really drawn to that kind of a scent. But did you know that patchouli can actually help you break old patterns? There are only a few essential oils that do that consciously. Hoe wood is another one that helps you disrupt old paradigms, break up old patterns so that you can create a new way of being. Also helps with introspection, reflection, cultivates self-love. It's grounding, but it's also uplifting. It helps to remind you that everything is going to be okay. It's sort of like, for me, patchouli is like a hug in an essential oil form. It's also very powerful for attracting abundance and prosperity. It really is the number one essential oil for wealth. And so if you're drawn to these energies, patchouli is going to be one of your signature essential oils. And part of what I love too is patchouli lingers. I wear it every day. And so all of my shawls, all of my handbags, all of my clothing, all of my socks, everything smells like patchouli no matter how much I've washed it. And I love that because it's my favorite smell. And I love that people in my life identify me with patchouli. Even my kids, when they'll smell it somewhere and they're out and about, they'll say, "Oh, is mom here?" It's like they recognize that smell. So I think it's really neat too to also think about and cultivate what will be your signature scent. What are you always going to wear that people will identify with you? Okay, next up, it's peppermint. It's peppermint time. Peppermint's one you can dilute, if you want to be sure that you're not going to have any kind of reaction to it whatsoever. 3 deep inhales of peppermint. And really take the time, to sit with the oil. I think it's really important for you to have an experience, a lived physical experience of the oil, as well as a multisensory experience. That's number 2 for me. And then number 3. So beautiful. So peppermint is one that opens all of the upper chakras. It helps you to speak your truth by opening the throat chakra. It helps to make your vision really clear, so it activates that third eye, and it certainly helps to deepen your connection to source energy. And so peppermint's a truly upper chakra essential oil. In perfuming terms, the upper chakras translate to top notes. The middle chakras, like heart chakra, translate to heart notes or middle notes of your perfume. And then your root chakra, your lower chakras, correlate to the base notes in a perfume. I really love that because so many times when I've been teaching perfume, I've been a perfumer and an aromatherapist for half my life, almost more than half my life. I started making my own perfumes when I was 15. My mom was an esthetician, and she took me with her to her aromatherapy classes for her continuing education units. And I was hooked. As soon as I saw people working with essential oils and mixing them, I thought, gosh, this is magic. This is alchemy. And truly that's what this is. When I'm talking to you about the magic of essential oils, you are working in the tradition of alchemy. You are working in the tradition of the oldest magic. If it feels magical to you, if it feels special and unique and important for you to be working with essential oils, that's why. That's why. So when we're working with the magic of essential oils, we're working with the magic of alchemy. It's really true. And so if it feels special to you, if it feels like magic, if it feels mysterious and intoxicating to work with essential oils, that's because it is. You are truly working in the traditions of our ancestors when you work with these oils. And what's really fun to think about too is your ancestors recognize these smells. You recognize these smells in a past life. So when you diffuse these ancient scents, when you wear these ancient scents, when you massage your partner or your lover or your client sensually with these ancient scents, you are invoking a wisdom that exceeds time. You're invoking a language that's beyond words. You are invoking a history that, to some extent, is unlimited and even undocumented. And you are certainly invoking the deepest and darkest magic of our ancestors. So you're stepping into a long lineage when you work with essential oils. Now, if you are stressed out or if you are in pain, this is your new best friend. Peppermint is very helpful for pain, and it's very helpful for stress relief. It also calms and purifies mind, body, and spirit. It has such powerful energies of rejuvenation that almost every spa, and if you think about it, any spa that you've been to, you probably walked in and smelled something of peppermint. And that's because they know that you come to a spa to rejuvenate, and they know the number one rejuvenation oil is peppermint. It's always going to bring you back to center, to what matters, to your own balance, to your own calibration, to your own equilibrium. And so peppermint does all of those things and more. One of my favorites, and like I said, if you have migraines, just taking a few drops of peppermint, you can dilute in a carrier oil first, and then go to the back of your spine, the top of your spine and the back of your head, and just rub right in there, anointing the oils into your skin. You can push up a little bit and just place pressure, and that will instantly relieve even the worst migraine. That's a tip I have used for a long time. Next up, it's orange essential oil. You don't have to work too hard to find it. Orange has a very light, sort of lemony color to it and a very distinctive scent. So let's take 3 deep inhales of orange. Are you ready? And by the way, orange mixes beautifully with peppermint and beautifully with patchouli. And in fact, all of the essential oils in your kit work well together. And so I definitely recommend exploring the synergy between them. Orange and peppermint is a fun, energizing blend, especially if you have a long project to get through. It can help with stamina, the combination of orange and peppermint. And then one more time. Now here's what's interesting about orange that you may not know. Orange is also an essential oil associated with prosperity and wealth. It was used in ancient China as a symbol of good luck, both oranges and orange essential oil. It was also used for treating numerous health problems. And one of the things that orange brings is a deep sense of optimism and trust. It opens like a sacred safe space between people. And so orange has traditionally been seen as an important gift to give to others. It's also seen as a fruit that heals almost every malady and supports almost every system in the body, especially the endocrine system and the digestive system. So orange, a master healer that's right in your backyard, truly. You should be drinking more orange juice too in your diet. Okay, next it is lavender. We've been talking a little bit about lavender. And so let's take 3 deep inhales of our beautiful lavender essential oil. We did that earlier, but let's do it again. You can't have too much lavender in your life, in my opinion. Second inhale, oh, so good. You know, and lavender can be found all over the world. There's Bulgarian lavender, there's Spanish lavender. My favorite is French Provincial, which they call a true lavender or fine lavender. It's really good perfume grade lavender, and that's what you have your hands on right here. So beautiful. It is the oil of honest communication and open dialogue, authentic expression. It has this blend of bitter and sweet that is almost a union of the masculine and the feminine within. It brings heartfelt positivity and minimizes tension, relieving anxiety instantly. If you're familiar with Sage Goddess perfumes and you love lavender, you should try Dark Lavender. Our Dark Lavender perfume is a blend of lavender absolute with lavender essential oil. Those are very different. Lavender absolute is almost black. It's so dark green. Versus lavender essential oil, which is almost clear. And then we blended those hybrid oils, two faces of the same beautiful flower, in jojoba as a base. And so that is one of our all-time best-selling perfumes, and one you would love if you love lavender. It's a little bit of a surprise because the Lavender Absolute is deep and earthy, and so it'll catch you off guard a little bit, but I think you'll love it, especially if you're already a lover of lavender. Okay, Rose de Mai. Oh, I love rose. Do you love rose too? This is another one that's pretty safe for direct skin application, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to anoint with it because I'm such a lover of rose that I want it on me or near me all the time. Did you know that rose essential oil is associated with Mother Mary? It is. It's the essential oil of compassion. Don't you instantly feel more capable of love when you smell rose? And I think that's why roses as flowers have this lineage of meaning, right? That each one of the colors of rose, for example, yellow roses are for friendship and red roses are for passion. And so pink roses are for beauty and white roses are for innocence and purity and truth. And so I just love the fact that roses have their own vocabulary, right? Their own translation, and that even the colors are significant. And so if you're needing to open up an energy stream of compassion in your life, if you're looking to attract a soulmate, did you know that rose attracts the soulmate too? I really believe it. I think rose is one of the sexiest and most important essential oils there is. By the way, everything I'm telling you right now is why all of our sage bundles that we make at Sage Goddess have rose petals on them. It was actually our signature touch. That's how Sage Goddess began, was with my, at the time, very unique. There have been a lot of people who've done them now, but at first I was the first one to have the white sage and rose sage bundles, and it's because I really love the combination of that Salvia apiana, that white sage, which is so powerful for purification and transmutation of low energy, with the combination of the rose, which is so important for forgiveness, compassion, an open heart. And so for me, it's always been this visual of the white sage coming and clearing out anything I didn't want, with the rose coming in and opening up a dramatic space of compassion in the place of whatever energy has been released. It's beautiful, isn't it? And you can do the same thing with essential oils. We actually offer a blend at Sage Goddess that includes white sage, lavender, and rose. And so if you're interested in working with the combination of the white sage and the rose, we have that available too. Okay. Next up, it's Mugwort. Mugwort may be the surprise in this set. I don't know if you've worked with Mugwort before. If you've been working with me for a while, you probably have, because I love it. I just think it's a powerful master healer, and it's intoxicating, literally to the point where it was inhaled and used to achieve altered states by people who did psychic readings and different forms of divination historically, which is why some people have called Mugwort the witch's herb for divination. So 3 deep inhales, if you haven't worked with it, it's a little sharp like white sage. It might actually even remind you of white sage, and here's what you should know about Mugwort. Mugwort is a member of the Artemisia family, which actually has much in common with white sage. They're not the same plant, but they have lots of the same metaphysical properties. They clear low energies. They help to bring harmony and peace into a home by transmuting any lower stuck vibrations. Isn't it beautiful? So Mugwort, Artemisia, is an herb of protection and divination. Working with this oil will facilitate altered states of consciousness, so be careful, including astral projection and lucid dreaming. It keeps you safe during shamanic journey of any kind, so if you are someone who likes to journey, have really intense spiritual experiences, you always want to have your Mugwort with you. It will keep you safe as you go. And then last but not least, for our fun class tonight, which I hope you've enjoyed, this is just a super, super, super introductory class. But I want to tell you, if you're enjoying everything that we're doing and talking about right now, you would love Aromagic. Aromagic is my online class through Sage Goddess on aromatherapy. It's $20 a month. We learn about anywhere from 3 to 5 different essential oils each month. All the details, including where the essential oils come from, their Latin names, their metaphysical qualities and characteristics, as well as their healing properties, how to use them for physical wellness, but also how to use them for spiritual and emotional wellness too. So if you had fun tonight, I hope you'll consider joining me over at Aromagic, and you can always head to sagegoddess.com and click on memberships to learn more. Okay, so your gift in our set was the 3 Graces. So if you have it, I would love for you to open it if you haven't experienced it yet. This was a very intentional gift because I feel like the planet needs the 3 Graces right now, don't you? We need a little calmness, we need a little lucidity, we need a little peace in all that we do. Okay, last but not least, your free gift with your tools for this class was the 3 graces. And I thought, what an important gift. You know, our world needs the 3 graces right now. It needs these divine 3 goddesses of compassion, love, and peace, which is what you have in this blend. So your 3 essential oils in the 3 graces are, oh, I love this blend so much. It has beautiful lavender, which you would have to have. If you're going to have an anti-anxiety, beautiful 3 graces blend, would have to have lavender in it. It's got ylang ylang, which is a mild aphrodisiac, really enhances the experience of the divine feminine. And then blue chamomile, which is relaxing, it's calming, it's soothing, and it's balancing for the central nervous system. And so here's a little trick I'm going to teach you. This is our last little bit of wisdom from tonight's class, is how to anoint with essential oils. This is really important. And by anointing, I mean ceremonial or ritual application of your essential oils. Are you ready? So here's what I do and what I've always done. I take a little bit and I put it on my wrist. I always begin there. That's my palette. And then what I do is I put a drop on my third eye for what I know. Then I rub my wrists together for what I do with my hands. And then I put a drop on each of my ankles for where I go. So what I'm doing with that is using the energy of the oil. I am blessing what I know, what I create, and every place that I go, all of my footsteps. And it reminds me of a beautiful Native American prayer for walking in beauty. And so I love the idea that as you anoint your entire body, but in particular the main energy centers of the body, with the essential oils, that you are creating space for yourself to walk in beauty in this life. So I do think that scent is so important. It's one of the things people will always remember about you. And your scent shifts their environment. It shifts their energy. So when you walk in wearing lavender, you're a calming presence, even before you open your mouth and say anything. And I really love that the essential oils can speak for you. I hope this class has been a source of wisdom and entertainment and excitement for you. Like I said, if you enjoyed it, I hope you'll consider joining me for our Aromagic class in aromatherapy. This year, we're covering a world of magic. So every month, I'm teaching you about the essential oils from a different country and ancient civilization in our world. You can start at any time and you'll catch right up. So if you would like to join us, I would encourage you to do that. sagegoddess.com/memberships. If you're in Aromagic, I hope you had fun tonight. This might have been a review for you, but I think it's never, I love hearing things multiple times. I really do. And it takes 7 times hearing something to commit it to memory. So I never think it's a bad thing to hear information you've already heard once, another time, and maybe even in a different form or from a different teacher. Maybe you've learned from someone else in the past. I'm so glad you found me. And I look forward to continuing this learning journey with you soon. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. May the magic of essential oils be present to you and be a source of healing and blessing in your life, always. I will see you soon. Thanks so much. Take care, everybody.